Hey guys, Cell here and welcome back to some more Nikke. Now, yes, I got distracted and didn't do the second part, yesterday. But there was also something that was shown on Twitter for their account. And you guys, I don't think I'm going to be summoning anymore. Why? Because Marciana apparently is going to be the new character that comes out. So, I mean, she's a schoolgirl. I'm not pulling for E2 anymore. Or 2B. I don't care. Yes, they are limited, but she's not. So technically I could still pull, right? I don't care. Like, just looking at her, the first time I saw her, I'm like, I want this character. Especially after seeing her burst image. Again, which is this right here, I believe. And yeah, I have two things to guess for Marciana and what she is at school. She's either the leader of the disciplinary committee, or she is the school's student council president. That's the two things I'm getting from looking at her. She's either one or the other. Now, I could be wrong and she could be something completely different than what she actually is. But either way, every time I look at this image, I really very badly want her. And this also, is a huge factor, and I really want to know what the heck this actually looks like. Now, it's an all-girls school as well, I'm pretty sure, right? So, that makes it even better. Okay, now I'm going to get into the actual content for today, which is the actual Nier Part 2. I just wanted to gush over Marciana a little bit, because I really want her, and I really hope she's one of the two things that I'm saying that she would probably be, because that's what she looks like. I could be completely wrong in that, but I'm hoping that she's one or the other. Both would be very nice to have. Just saying. Student council girls tend to be, hot. Disciplinary leaders tend to be hot. So, yeah, it's like, I still hope she's one or the other. If she's not, it's still gonna be fine. It would be kind of sad. Just say it. Okay, now to actually stop gushing over her and actually get into the content for what we're gonna be doing, which is part 2 for the event. But yes, I'm not pulling for E2 anymore. I'm sorry. I can't. I literally can't do it anymore. After seeing her, I have a new priority of what I want. I know what I like, and Marciana is definitely something I like. I'll shut up now. Master, I brought some warm water. Would you like some? Yes, please. I knew it. I figured you'd be part, so I brought some water. Neon hands over the cup of water. Thank you. Don't mention it. Let's see, I already asked Rapi and Anis. 2B9S, what about you two? Either of you want a drink of water? I'm okay. Me too. Okay. Then I'll go ask the others. Neon darts over to where B6, C12, and 6D are gathered. After 2B and 9S introduced themselves as androids from another world, we gather in front of the factory. We discussed our mission to locate the gatekeeper in great detail, and also went over how 2B's possess... What? Oh, posse. How a posse ended up at the factory. At least I think that's what that's supposed to be. So, you're androids from another world? That's right. You're all Nikkes except for him. 2B and 9S turn to look at me. Is he human? Correct. It may be in a different world, but I never thought I would ever meet a real living human. Is this the first time you've seen a human? Yes. How can that be? Did you say you were created to serve and save mankind? That's true, but we never had a chance to meet any humans. I see. Anyway, that's not the point. So in a nutshell, you used some kind of transporters from your world, but there was a malfunction. By the time you came to, you had been transported here. Right. Based on what you've told us, we have that so-called gatekeeper to thank for bringing us here. According to current information, that's the most likely hypothesis, yes. And you were rummaging around the factory in search of those missing transporters. Precisely. Since we came up empty-handed outside the factory, we surmised it might be inside. You say invisible barriers of some kind have been placed around the factory's vicinity, which made travel to any other area impossible for you. That's when we came into the picture. Yes, so we had to find out for ourselves whether you had brought us here, or if you were mixed up in this just like us. So you were following us to confirm if the Raptures and the mass-produced Nikkeis would act hostile towards us. From the moment we came to, this entire place has been crawling with them. Every time we attempted to search for the transporters, they would attack us. If it turned out you were on friendly terms with them, it would be safe to assume you were also our enemy. So the Nikkeis and the Raptures have been there ever since you woke up? Yes, they are omnipresent in this area. They were being pushed through these doors. That bore a striking resemblance to the transporters that we used. You're saying that these Raptures and mass-produced Nikkeis were both being manufactured here? Yes. That would mean that all those Nikkeis and they are replicants created by the Gatekeeper. That may well be the case. Before we escaped from the central production room, we all saw that one fallen Nikke disintegrate into a mass of light. Then there's no doubt about it, they're 100% replicants. But then why were they fighting with Raptures? If both sides were conjured up by the Gatekeeper, they shouldn't have any reason to fight. It's impossible to know for sure. Oh, this just keeps getting more convoluted. After scanning the inside of the factory, we detected an unknown type of energy surrounding the entire facility. The core of this mysterious energy source was located in the center of this factory. Then it must be located in the central production room that we escaped from. No, it's deeper inside. Only there you will find a door producing these mass-produced Nikkeis and Raptors, as you call them. We also believe that that is where we will find the energy core, as well as the transporters that we used previously. I see. This energy you're talking about is most likely the D-Wave, and the energy core is most likely the Gatekeeper. I would assume so, yes. So, I have a suggestion. If you plan to go back into the factory, may we join you? You want to come with us? If you go back in there, those things created by the Gatekeeper will be on the offensive. In such a situation, it would be advisable for us to stick together and use our combined strength. Commander, what do you think? I think it's a valid point. I agree with her. What? Look, if 9S was considered a her, then she would have joined the, event as the next playable character. Although Yoko Taro technically would get a kick out of, having Pascal as the character, so obviously that would not have then been the case. But I'm pretty sure he's getting a kick out of it right now anyways. I sure am not. But yeah, no, 9S is a guy, thank you very much. I think it's a valid point, I agree with him. Our goals may differ slightly, but we're both heading towards the same location. The more hands we have on deck, the better. If the commander is down, then I'm down. Also, it's not like this is the first time we've encountered people from another world either. I agree. Right now we need all the help we can get. I'm glad we're on the same page. As soon as we are prepared, we should head back in.
Master, it's a disaster. I went over there and offered them some water, but no one would accept it. Why, in what world would that possibly be considered a disaster? They probably just aren't thirsty. But they're all just sitting there staring into space.
Hold on, wait. So, C12, C6 in, was it in this one that she talked about this, or with the other one? Dang it. Okay, well, either way. Are they perchance did those 3 get made by Gatekeeper, but they were defects? And as such, the battles that they said they ran away from were the ones they were forced to fight after being made. So in the end, when we essentially kill Gatekeeper, they'll essentially die as well. Or, eventually, they're gonna be corrupted and have to fight us. And then they die. Or they shoot each other. There's plenty of different ways this could go since it's Nier and Nikke combined.
We're looking blankly at the ground. They're not talking.
All of us glance towards the remainder of the group. C12, B6, and C60,
I think what happened inside the factory is more traumatic for them than we thought. You mean what we saw or didn't see, rather, inside the head of that one Nikke? Yes. That was shocking even for us. Now imagine how it was for them since they're the same model. It must have been scarring to see that. I can only imagine. Commander, before we go back into the factory, I think we should do something about them. What do you think?
Let's go talk to them.
Oh, it should be okay in here.
Oh yeah, NP12. A2 points us toward a P12.
What are you doing?
Time for you to start talking. What are those things? Who are you? Tell me everything you know.
To be honest, I don't know who I am. All that I can ever remember is firing my gun at raptures. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm a Nikke. I was made to serve humans, and my purpose is to eliminate raptures.
Yes? So you just so happen to be one of the ones that gained sentience after they were created from Gatekeeper. Oh boy.
That's how I've lived my life, an endless repetition of taking down raptures. All of a sudden, a thought came into my head. What am I doing?
Yep, just like the robots in Nier. Some of them started to, you know, leave the network. Like Pascal. Speaking of which, where's Pascal?
What would happen if I didn't fire my weapon? So I stopped firing. But oddly, nothing happened. I started to explore the factory. I tried to talk to the other Nikkes to see if there were any others like me. Hey, why are you still shooting? Can you hear me? I guess I'll try another one. Even when I spoke to the others. Hello? Can you hear me? I have something to tell you. What if I sing to you? Can you hear me? No one answered. Then I discovered someone who had passed out. Huh? Someone who didn't look like a Nikke or a Rapture. Someone who looked different from me. Hey, wake up! It's dangerous sleeping in a place like this. An individual that responded to my calls for the first time. Who are you? Reveal your identity. That was you. A2. So I wanted to help you. No matter where you're from or who you are, you answered me. You spoke to me. So I wanted to help you in any way I could. Is that the only reason? Yes. I had no other intentions. Honestly, you have to trust me on this. You're really not able to trust me anymore, are you? I see, understandable. I said I'd be your guide, and I led you straight into a hornet's nest. Why would you trust me? I'm sorry for being so useless. Keep leading the way. But, however, the moment I sense anything suspicious, I'll cut you down without a second thought. Are you alright with that? Yes, that's good enough for me. I appreciate you trusting me even that much. I made a promise to you, and I intend to keep it. Let's go. Yes.
Are you all okay?
Huh? Oh yeah. Are you thinking about what we saw in there? That was just a replica conjured up by the gatekeeper. That's why it was hollow inside. I see. But if they are hollow inside,
that means you're hollow inside as well.
who's to say that we aren't as well? If you look inside of us, maybe there's nothing there. What are you talking about? You saw the replicated raptors, didn't you? They were empty inside too. The gatekeeper probably doesn't have means to properly fill them out, as it were. Besides, you know how real Nikkes are made. Our bodies are formed with the human brain as the foundation. Do you really believe that? Those things look exactly like us and are completely empty. Even if we do have something inside of us, is it really our brains from when we were human? Maybe it's just a machine made to resemble a brain. C12. A Nikke without a human brain is just a mindless machine that kills raptures. There's no point to spending time postulating about things we don't know. As of this moment, there's no way for us to get to the bottom of this conundrum. Is that not correct? Right, but still, you're merely psyching yourself out. I'm sure of it. Rappy. To be hit the nail on the head until we can figure out for certain what's going on. You might as well go with the assumption that you've got a brain in there. Surely that'll be more reassuring than assuming otherwise. I also believe you got a brain. Thank you. All of you. Right back at ya. Let's move forward under this assumption and stay strong. Yes, okay. Alright.
We are going back into the factory. You can come with us or you can stay behind. The choice is yours.
We'll be fine with whatever decision you make. So what'll it be? I want to go back. C12, you're going? Yes. I want to confirm with my own eyes that the Nikkes we saw were replicas. What about you, 60? Me? Yes. I'm going. Then I'm going too. I don't want to be alone. Good, then we'll all go together. The more the merrier. That's right. It'll be like we're on a big old joint mission.
Did we just go back through the exit we came out from?
No.
While conducting our scan, we discovered a shorter route. While you were all having a discussion, we hacked the entrance leading to that route. We'll guide you there.
Scanning, cool. Hacking, cool.
Lead the way. You're certainly a lively bunch, I like that. 9S and I will take the lead.
So dedicated. Super duper dedicated.
I apologize for the racket these two are making. It's okay.
We must be insane to intentionally come back into this creepy-ass place. That's my life. Nevertheless, coming back in was relatively smooth. Sure enough, I was worried that we'd get jumped by those mass-produced Nikkei's again. This path seems to have fewer of them. The same goes for the Raptures. It almost feels as if we're being supported by an operator. Totally.
You flatter me.
By the way, you're super strong as well, 2B. I've been wanting to say that ever since you saved our skins back there.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
If I didn't know any better, I'd swear I was hearing Vapi. That response sounds exactly like something she'd say. Come to think of it, 2B and Vapi have similar voices, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice it before. They are pretty similar. Commander, what do you think?
I think they're a little bit different. Very similar.
Oh, come on, they're practically identical.
No.
Maybe their voices are so alike because they have the same personality.
Or the same voice actor.
Hey, you could be onto something.
Just ignore them, 2B. They always get like this whenever they're not occupied with something else.
That's a funny definition of unoccupied. When we first came into the factory, we were going on about how easy everything was. And that's when the crap hit the fan.
Sorry to break it to you, but I think we might be in for a repeat of that.
Don't tell me.
Oh boy. Rapture's approaching fast. Everyone prepare for battle.
Honeys, do me a favor. If you ever feel like something is too easy, just keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. Isn't that the golden rule to never say something like that?
You're the one who blabbed about it this time.
Let's hurry up and find the transporter so I can return to my world and have a bath. Androids don't need to bathe. As long as you perform regular cleaning and maintenance, bathing is unnecessary. Yeah, but come on, 2B. It still feels good. You've been fighting non-stop, aren't you tired? So far, so good. Well, don't push yourself too hard. You too. What are you laughing at?
Nothing, just thinking about how you two have such a wonderful relationship. Do you two often work together on missions like we do?
That's right. We were both assigned to the same mission at the time this incident occurred.
Huh. Strange things are always cropping up. They make our missions last way longer than they should. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you get back? Is there something you want to eat or something fun you want to do?
We'll probably resume our fight for mankind. Yeah, I'd say the same.
No way! You're just gonna go straight back to work. You guys really give it your all in order to protect mankind.
That they do. 2B is the responsible one. It's my duty.
Duty? Is that why you're working so hard to go back? To fulfill your duty? Yes. Why? Surely there are others besides you who can accomplish that task. You two aren't the only androids out there, are you? No. There are many more androids out other than us. Then what's the big deal if you stay here a while longer? Couldn't someone else take over for you? It's not like anyone knows. Either of you are here. You're right. So why are you so adamant about going back? You could just keep your mouth shut and not tell anyone. And hide out here indefinitely. You wouldn't have to undertake any difficult missions. Wouldn't have to fight every single day, see your friends die. You could avoid all that pain. Be that as it may, we have to go back. Why? You don't have to. This is the perfect opportunity to break away from this vicious cycle. Yes, but you see, they're the protagonists of their own story. They have to go back, otherwise no one else will be able to do anything. Then they have to delete their save file to get the true ending. And you know, we didn't get to see anything else after that. I still want to know what happens after the true ending. But obviously we won't know. That's a make your own type of story, what happens after that. I really want to know what happens after, man. But, look, I can't see anything about the true ending, otherwise it'd be a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen or done the true ending themselves. So I'm just gonna move on from this. There's a perfect opportunity to break away from the vicious cycle. Why aren't you taking it? Whether I choose to get out or not, I don't want anyone else to influence my thought process, which might result in me making a hasty decision. I see. So as of this moment, there is only one decision I can come to go back to our world. Once that's done, I'll think about what comes next. I see. Sorry for bringing it up. Don't worry about it. B6, what's wrong? Nothing, it's interesting. I have something I want to ask.
A2 and B12 tentatively venture out of the room in which they were hiding and continue to walk inside the factory. The two of them team up to defeat the endless waves of raptors and mass-produce Nikkei's.
A2, Raptor right behind you. Don't worry about me.
A2 turns and cleaves a raptor that was sneaking up behind P12 and 2.
Worry about yourself. Oh jeez, I didn't even see that one.
Both of them look outside one of the windows.
Hey, do you see that? Is it an enemy? No. It's a flower blooming.
Oh? Flower?
Don't get worked up over something so trivial. How can you call that trivial? Look how beautiful it is. I had no idea there was so much beauty lying outside these windows. Once all this is over, why don't you venture outside? What? After we find a transporter, you should go outside. See what lies beyond these windows. I guess you're right. I'll be able to go outside then. It'll probably be even more beautiful up close. Most likely. I can't wait. We should hurry up and find that transporter for you.
As night falls and the inside of the factory is bathed in darkness, 2B and P12 set up camp. What? You mean A2 and P12?
It's getting dark. Let's make camp here and rest until daylight. Sure thing. You sleep first. I'll stand guard. What about you, though? I'm an android. I don't need to sleep. But I'm a Nikkei. We don't need to sleep either. You were stumbling back there because you were tired. You saw that? All you'll do is distract me while I'm on guard. So just go to sleep. Well, if you insist. You are the best, E2. Give me a break.
It feels like the two of them are on a shared journey or even a holiday of sorts.
This is fun. Huh? Exploring the inside of this factory with you. It feels like I'm out exploring with a friend. It feels nice, that's all. So you enjoy being ambushed left and right? Not at all. It all feels nice except for the being attacked part. It's just that, talking with someone and working towards the same goal. Isn't that enough? Not sure. I won't forget this experience for my entire life.
Yeah.
Of that I'm certain. Stop blabbering and lead the way. How much further do we have? We're almost there. All we've got to do is go down to the basement. Very well. We're nearly finished with our journey. So let's keep up the pace.
A2 follows P12 into the factory's basement. As they descend into the subterranean depths, they eventually reach a massive hall. Along the walls of the hall, multiple doors are arranged in a circular pattern. An endless stream of mass-produced Nikkes and Raptors emerge from the doors. In the center, there is a massive object of some kind.
What is that thing, a rapture? I'm not sure, but I feel like I've seen it before. A long time ago. When was it?
When you were first created? P12 is lost in her thoughts.
That's it. It's from when I was first born here. That's when I saw it. You were born here? I guess manufacture would be a more appropriate term. Like those Nikkes over there. I walked out that door and saw that thing over there sleeping. Like it is right now. Yep. There was only one order coursing through my mind then. Don't awaken. The Gatekeeper. So that thing is called the Gatekeeper? I believe so. Even after I was moved to a different location along with my fellow Nikkes, all I kept muttering was that same phrase. Don't awaken the Gatekeeper. When you look closely, the Raptures and Nikkes are being produced and coming out in such large numbers. But they aren't fighting each other, right? If it were in any other place, they would have fired on sight. I see. They do seem to be careful not to make loud noises. You think so? But why did this memory come back to me all of a sudden? Why were they dormant all this time and only surfaced now? You think it's because I saw the Gatekeeper again? Hard to say. Oh right. That thing you described was here as well. The large box-like thing with a door. If my memory serves me correctly, it was behind the Gatekeeper.
Both of them redirect their gaze back to the Gatekeeper. It is deep in a peaceful slumber, safely ensconced behind the luminescent curtain of lambent light.
How do we make sure the teleporter thing is over there? We have to wake this thing up. Man, what a drag. I know I've said it before, but the fact that it's pitch black in here makes it much more of a slog.
You can say that again. How about we take a short break?
I'm in favor. Me too. All this fighting in the dark has got me pooped.
It's understandable. Then let's rest a bit. Okay.
Since we have a minute, I have a few questions.
For us?
Yes. You said you two were androids, right?
Correct.
So that means you're not human?
Yes.
Then do you have a human brain like we do? I've been curious about that myself.
No. We don't have that.
But then how do you talk or fight for that matter? How do you have a sense of self-agency?
We don't have human brains. We have consciousness data instead.
Never heard of it. Cool.
I'm not sure if cool is the right word. But thank you for the compliment.
don't have human brains, but she seems so human. Come again. Nothing. It's remarkable that even you don't have a human brain. You can still be as alive as you are. Aren't you pointing out the obvious? Of course we're alive. Right? Yes. Of course.
Just a moment, everyone. A little further on, we're bound to run into some mass-produced Nikes. The assumption is that they will attack us along with the Raptures, much like they did last time, so exercise caution. Understood. Thanks for the heads up.
So, we'll be seeing those mass-produced Nikes again.
Seems so.
Those things would give me the willies. Even if they are clones, it's still unnerving to be killing something that looks so much like you. Totally.
If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to engage the mass-produced Nikes. I'll take care of them. No, we can't let you take on everything. If anyone or anything poses a threat to the commander, they'll have to deal with me. You tell them, Robbie.
Right. If they attack us like they did last time, we'll have no choice but to take them on. Right? Of course. We can't just stand there and let ourselves get killed. I agree. What about they said? Our job is to protect the commander. We can't sit by twiddling our thumbs. Yeah.
I appreciate what you're all doing for me. How caring of you all. And a big thank you to you as well, 2B9S.
Why are you so surprised?
Well, I know that you are a human from a different world, but it just feels a bit unusual, that's all.
Commander, how do you feel being protected by both Nikes and androids?
It's great. I feel like I've got to do my best to measure up to you all. I feel loved. Oh, jeez.
A textbook answer. Yeah, a bit bland if you ask me.
Oh, gee, thanks.
I think we've all mentally prepared ourselves for what's up ahead, yeah? Let's give this another go.
Yes, let's move out. Wait a moment. There's something up ahead. Nines points towards a transparent barrier which is emitting a faint light. 906's hands out. And they come to an immediate stop as if they are being blocked by something. It's operating just like the barriers we saw outside. They're preventing us from going any further. I thought these would only be an issue outside, but apparently I was wrong.
I think I've seen something similar to this before.
Doesn't this remind you guys of the shield that the gatekeeper had last time? Floppy fires at the barrier. None of the bullets pierce through. The shells fall limply to the floor. It's as I thought. It's distorting the trajectory of any incoming projectiles. 2B attempts to swing her sword at the barrier, but it bounces back. Swords don't seem to have any effect either. It's just like last time, it blocks all physical attacks.
Oh, here we go again. How do we manage to get through it before?
Wasn't it electroshock therapy or something like that?
I believe we woke the gatekeeper up.
Yeah, that we did.
Okay, then where is it? Good question. There doesn't seem to be any trace of it anywhere.
I'll scan the factory again. I'll see if I can detect anything that could potentially be the gatekeeper. Much appreciated.
In that case, I guess all we can do is kick our feet up and wait it out.
For now, that would be the optimal course of action, yes.
Might as well recharge our firepower before we go. You guys don't look so hot. Huh? Are you okay? Of course, we're okay. You say that, but you look like death warmed over. It's because you're going to have to face the mass-produced Nikes again. No. It's like you said. Those Nikes also vaporize into beams of light, just like the Raptures. They're replicants, so there's nothing to worry about. Just remember what to be said before. Don't push yourselves too hard. It's not easy facing an enemy who's the spitting image of you. I can't even imagine how tough that must be. You don't have to proceed if you're not up to it. You can find somewhere safe and hide. Honestly, I'm fine. Even if I hadn't followed you all in here, it wouldn't do anything to assuage the internal strife I'm feeling. Instead of sitting around in mental torment while doing nothing, I might as well be doing something. Right? B6? Huh? Did you call me? I'm okay, Everything's fine. We can continue. It's just me happy that we've got a chance for a breather before moving on. Oh? What is that? The ground is shaking.
A massive energy wave is coming. Everyone get in formation. Yeah, we didn't have to wake up Gatekeeper because, you know, A2 and P12 were already doing that for us.
Huh. You mean to wake the Gatekeeper?
That's right.
But how?
Like this. A2 approaches the protective curtain surrounding the Gatekeeper. She swings her sword with all her might. It bounces off the surface with a loud clang. No use.
It's repelling it somehow.
Try shooting it with your gun.
Sure.
P12 opens fire. None of the bullets pierce through. They fall limply to the floor.
What the? I know that my aim was right.
If so, it's of no use. A2 dashes towards the curtain.
A2?
A2 starts running into place, unable to take a single step beyond the curtain.
We can't reach it. Then what should we do? If we want to get at that transporter,
we'll need to figure out another way to wake this thing up.
Another way? How about making some noise?
Will that work?
It can't hurt to try. I'll fire off a few shots.
Okay. P12 tilts her gun up and fires into the air. The Gatekeeper doesn't budge.
It's not waking up. It must be in a really deep sleep.
A2 looks around her surroundings. Despite the racket that P12 is kicking up, neither the mass-produced Nikes nor the Raptors seem to be affected. No response whatsoever. Barely even an acknowledgement.
Maybe they don't like bullets bouncing and hitting their bodies.
With this curtain, I doubt it's afraid of bullets.
A2?
Perhaps. A2 runs towards one of the doors.
It wants to protect.
Yeah? She swings her sword towards the door.
The curtain is vibrating.
Did it work? Oh yeah, definitely got an attention.
Intruder. Exterminate.
The mass-produced Nikes starts to reload their weapons.
Exterminate, 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 exterminate.
This is why I didn't want to wake them.
A2. We've got Nikes and Raptors incoming.
I'm going to break these doors.
You intend on destroying all of them?
Every last one. You go hide upstairs. I can handle this on my own.
No, I can do it too. I want to help.
Do as you will.
A2.
Amidst the throng of raptors and Nikkei's, P12 points off in the distance.
That's the last one. I'll hold him off however I can. You hurry up and go.
Roger. A2 runs towards the last door.
Time to end this.
A2 plunges his door into the last remaining door. It shatters. The moment the door splinters apart.
Stop.
All the remaining Nikkeis and raptors freeze instantly and collapse.
What the? Is this because we broke all the doors? I would assume so, but how come I'm feeling so nervous? I feel like something big is coming. The curtain's down.
It's waking up.
What's all that shaking?
Light starts to emanate out of the gatekeeper.
It's waking up.
After a few moments, the shockwaves that grip the factory come to a halt.
Is it finally over?
Commander, are you okay?
I'm fine. What was that? It seems to be some kind of energy field surrounding this entire area.
Most likely what you all have been referring to as a D-wave. My guess is that this is something being emitted by the gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper? I don't like this.
2B stretches her hand out where they want to get.
The barrier that once blocked the path ahead has now disappeared. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think this is the perfect chance for us to slip inside.
Agreed. Let's move.
Roger. B6, are you up to it? Huh? Of course. Let's go.
Taking advantage of how the gatekeeper's shield is temporarily down, we move forward towards the massive hall in the center of the factory.
Look at all these doors. What are they all for?
Along the walls of the hall, multiple doors are arranged in a circular pattern. Inside, mass-produced Nikkeis and raptors are being ceaselessly manufactured. Once produced, they immediately commence firing at each other.
It's just like 9S said. It seems the Nikkeis and raptors are both being produced inside these doors. I wouldn't believe it if I weren't seeing it with my own eyes. How is this even possible? The more we learn about the gatekeeper, the more extraordinary things we witness.
You can say that again.
That's the door that's producing all these Nikkeis.
Over there, underneath the floor where the Nikkeis and raptors are fighting, a colossal energy wave is pouring out, most likely the D-wave. That's where we'll find the energy core we're after. Are you saying that the gatekeeper is underground? I'm not entirely sure. There does, however, appear to be another floor below this one. It's emitting an energy-based interference which is preventing me from conducting any scans. If we want to know for sure, we'll have to dig.
So in other words, if we want to find the gatekeeper, energy core, or whatever else you want to call it, we've got to take these guys out so we'll have a way through.
That appears to be the case.
You don't think they'll move it if we ask nicely, do you?
I doubt it. Don't think about it too much. It can't be avoided. We have no choice but to face them.
I think they just noticed us.
Intruder. Interference. Exterminate. Exterminate, 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 exterminate. The mass-produced Nikkeis and raptors start approaching us.
Alright. Let's do this. Let's see if you'll move or not.
Everyone prepare for battle. Encounter! B6's first memory was of waking up inside the factory. Surrounded by the dark and gloomy industrial machinery, she opens her eyes. She can't remember anything, not even who she is. Drawing a blanket terrifies her, and she frantically rushes towards the light leading outside of the building. When she gets there, she finds someone who looks exactly like her. She looks at her with a remarkable steeliness. But she eventually decides to accept her when a third person looking remarkably like both of them appears. After spending a few days with her two identical companions, they encounter a group which doesn't look like them at all. This group gives her a name, B6. That is the moment when, for the first time, she realizes who she is. Returning to the factory, she once again lays her eyes on many others who look just like her, and discovers that they are hollowed-out shells. If they die, nothing is left, and they evaporate into thin air, accompanied by blasts of light. B6 becomes worried that her own body and mind is empty. She encounters the androids, who do not possess organic human brains. Despite this, they are capable of rational thought, decision-making, carrying out missions with their team. They are capable of being affectionate and sharing concern for one another. They are almost human-like with their own emotions. B6 begins to hope that she is like them and that she herself resembles a human. The fellows who were also bestowed nicknames. The fellows who traveled with her gave her her own name. All of these things she was witnessing, the memories she was forming. They all began to pile up along with her previous recollections. And it's making B6 anxious. What would have happened if she hadn't opened her eyes back in that factory? What if she had stayed in there? Would she have ended up like those Nikke she and the others are shooting at? Yeah, pretty much. Would her life have been ended by one of her friend's own bullets? Is there no organic brain in her head or a mechanical device? Or worst of all, nothing whatsoever? All of these thoughts course through her mind as she trains her weapon at the attacking doppelgangers. What if there is nothing inside her? What if she were to go over and stand amongst them with a vacant expression and raise her weapon? What would happen then? Would she be killed? Yes, she almost certainly would. Just like the rest of them, she would have died with the same expression on her face. I'm not one of them, and I'm your companion. I don't want to fight. I don't want to die. She would have died before saying a single word. Her life would have been ended like that. These mass-produced Nikkes don't want to die either. She doesn't want to kill them. She doesn't want to see them die. It has to stop. 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 Don't kill them. B6 stands in front of the fallen mass-produced Nikkes, blocking the way. B6, what are you doing? Get away from there. No, I can't do it. I don't care if they're replicants or not. They look just like me. I don't want to see them die. That's enough. B6, how can you kill them without a second thought? The androids say that they don't have human brains but consciousness data. Doesn't that mean you can live without a brain? Rather than just blowing them all away, could we not talk to them, tell them that we're not here to pick a fight? That we don't mean them any harm? Get out of the way. They can just stay inside the factory. Is that so bad? They won't harm anyone in there. I said get out of the way. Did 6D just pull her gun onto her? You talk too much. 6D just killed her. 6D just killed B6. Oh my god. She's the first one to go. She collapses to the ground. What the hell? D6, why? Everyone's stunned. What's going on? What have you done? No. Her head is empty. No. What the hell, man? The light coming out from the gatekeeper's body starts to dissipate, and the ground-shaking tremors cease. Accompanied by a dull metallic sound, the gatekeeper manifests itself in midair.
Am I seeing things? Or is that another gatekeeper? The other one is still sleeping right where it was. How come there are two? Did it make another one so that it could remain asleep? It's massive. Do we even stand a chance against this thing? When that thing disappears. We need to run. You go. What? You took me where I needed to go. Your mission here is done. But what about you? I have to go back. So I must stay and fight. Then I'll stay. No, go. You're scared. That doesn't matter. If you stay, you'll only get in the way. Just go. No. I don't want to go. What? I'm not going. We haven't found your transporter yet. You said it was behind this creature. Yes, but we don't know that for sure. So my role as your guide isn't finished yet. This is my decision. It's the first decision I've ever made on my own since I was born. I won't give up. I won't run away just because I'm scared. Do as you will. But mark my words. If you get in my way, I will cut you down. Got it?
The moment A2 runs towards the slumbering gatekeeper, light starts to emerge from it once again, and the other starts to shake.
What's going on? A2 over there.
The sleeping gatekeeper's body trembles. In what looks like its core, an energy ball emerges from its body before disappearing into the ceiling.
What was that thing? Impossible to know now. But at any rate, it seems weaker than before. So then this is our opportunity. Exactly, before it has a chance to recover. We have to take it down. Okay. Enemy down. We did it.
The sleeping gatekeeper quivers slightly.
It's waking up.
The newly awoken gatekeeper seems to be taking in its surroundings. There's a flash of light and then it disappears.
Where'd it go? I wasn't nervous that we'd have to end up fighting it, thank goodness it. Huh? A2 over there. Isn't that the transporter you were after?
In the spot where the gatekeeper once rested, the transporter now stands alone.
That's it. That's a relief. Now you can go back. Thank you.
P12's body starts to shine.
What's wrong? I knew this would happen. You what? We eliminated the very being that created me. So it seems I'm being erased along with it. You're disappearing. It would seem so. You don't seem surprised at all. Why? Did you know that this would happen? I think I felt it instinctively. If Gatekeeper disappears, I will disappear too. If you knew, then why did you fight it?
P12 smiles.
I told you, I wouldn't run away. This is my choice. What kind of? Though ever since I first opened my eyes, all I've ever done was what others told me. I let out others make my decisions for me until one day I started questioning it. Was shooting down raptors all I was good for? I escaped that place and came somewhere else. But I have nothing to do. It was as if I existed only to eliminate raptors and nothing more. But then I met you. And for the first time, I felt that I was living a life I had chosen for myself. Different from the lives led by those who looked exactly like me. I was leading an independent existence. It may have been a short life, but it was one that I chose. I can't possibly describe to you the joy I felt at living my own life for once. I'm glad that I met you. I'm delighted that I was able to go on this journey with you. P12. So let's part with a smile. I want this to be a journey that ends joyfully. Very well. Goodbye, A2. Thank you for giving me a name and talking to me. The same goes for me. It was a fun journey. Goodbye, P12. Ah, I'm so happy. It was a life filled with joy.
P12 disappears in a flash of lights.
Thank you.
A2 leans against the transporter and slumps down to the floor.
I'm tired.
A2 closes her eyes.
I need to rest.
As soon as A2 closes her eyes, all of the recent battles feel like a dream. Silence fills the factory. And not long after, A2's body is also consumed by light. Ultra Automata Side A. End. I was about to say, what the heck? That's the end? But no, that's only Side A. We still have Side B. Speaking of B,
B6, B6.
The dead B6 is engulfed in a blinding light and vanishes.
How is it possible? B6 was a replicant.
What have you done?
So she was a replicant. No wonder she always rubbed me the wrong way.
You're also one!
Huh. You son of a... I can't stand those who look the same as I do.
You gotta take out C12 as well? 60 points a weapon at C12.
60? Why? Have you gone completely insane? What are you doing? You might also be a replicant. Better safe than sorry. Do you have any evidence to show that you're not? You're going to blow them all away just because you suspect they might be replicas. You've completely lost the plot. Yeah. How can you do this? They've been with you all this time. They're your friends. Friends? What friends? You've never hung around someone who is identical to you in every way. Each of you is a distinct creation of one of a kind. Unique beings who don't have to deal with doppelgangers living all around you.
I mean, technically Anis and Neon do have doppelgangers now, in the form of their summer units. So technically they do. Wappy currently doesn't.
That's why you're able to spew such useless platitudes.
Although Wappy's, special predicament could count as a doppelganger, I guess.
If I were to take off my visor and begin acting like those Nikkes we've been dropping, do you think you could tell us apart? We've got the same armor, voice, body, face. Even my damn life isn't the same as theirs. Do you really realize what a sickening realization that is? I'm jealous of you. Each of you is utterly unique. Why wasn't my brain good enough? Why couldn't they have created a unique body just for me? I want one too. 2B. I'm picking up energy fluctuations in the vicinity. Whatever that underground energy source is, it's gone into 60. What? I've always wanted to be unique.
So Gatekeeper took over 60's body and that's why she shot B6. Energy waves spring up from the ground and are absorbed into 60's body. All of the mass-produced Nikkes that were previously knocked back get up and rush towards her.
Everyone get back. 60!
A blinding surge of light bursts out of 60.
What is that?
Where 60 once stood, there now appears to be a massive rapture.
A rapture? I'm sick and tired of all of this. I will devour everything. All those in the Ark who have the same face as I will consume them all. And I will never stop, not until I'm the only one left, and I will become unique. Everyone get information. Prepare for battle. Now I shall consume everything. Then I can finally be myself. Massive rapture approaching. Damn.
The colossal rapture crumbles to the ground.
Oh. Did we defeat it?
No, don't let your guard down. We are still picking up energy fluctuations. That sounds pleasant.
What is that?
A mass of parts swirls around a disembodied raptor core, its body slowly reassembling.
Is that thing actually regenerating?
It must be because of the energy 60 absorbed. The core is what's allowing it to regenerate. Concentrate your fire on the core.
Roger. Why would this thing die?
The count is fired to Raptor's core. The core shatters and Rapture's regenerative process ceases.
Did it stop?
Not yet.
No, don't break it. Don't break my uniqueness. How is it still regenerating?
There might be more than one energy core. Niners, check if there are any additional cores supplying power to this thing. Okay, I'll try. We'll try to destroy the Rapture's core again. We have to keep it from regenerating for as long as possible.
Understood. Got it.
The Countess wants to get open fire to Raptor's core.
Don't break. It isn't good, and you're generating more quickly.
The Raptor starts getting up.
I will consume all of.
I found it. Where is it? Directly under it. There's another underground energy core. Got it. 2B charges forward. Just as the Raptor is attempting to get up, she severs its legs. Once the Raptor's hulking body tumbles to the side. 2B takes the sword and plunges it downwards where the energy core is hitting. Now, destroy its core. Roger.
Firepower!
The Countess pummeled the Raptor's core with another hail gun fire. Finally, the core shatters.
No, this can't be.
Bye! White light starts pouring out of the Raptor's body. Once the light disappears, the mass-produced Nikkei's which filled the factory, and the many doors that were producing them all disappear.
No.
The old 6D reappears. 2B, look over there. The transporters. Along with the transporter that 2B and Ninus were looking for.
So those were what you were after this whole time. Well, looks like we found it. That's great.
We can finally go back home, 2B. Yes, finally. 2B looks over at us. Thank you for everything. We should be thanking you.
Try not to cause any malfunctions this time around when you're using it, okay? Wouldn't want you to getting dumped off somewhere else. Yeah, make sure you get dropped off where you want. Bon voyage.
Thank you for everything. 2B cracks a little smile. Right. The end might have been somewhat unpleasant, but all in all, it was an interesting experience. Take care, everyone.
Wait.
What's wrong? C12.
Wait just a moment. I have something I want to ask. I know that you're both androids, neither Nikkei nor human, but do you think B6's death, and what happened to 6D, has anything to do with how we were made? I feel terrible about what's happened, but is my feeling sad part of my original design? Is feeling this way and experiencing these horrible tragedies something that we're destined to suffer through?
Well, even if everything is predetermined, that to me doesn't negate the value of your individual feelings. Your sadness belongs to you and you alone.
I see. It's just that it's so.
C12 starts to silently weep. Tubi, it's time too. Okay. Farewell, everyone. I hope you all achieve what you're after. You too. Tubi and Idas enter the teleporter and disappear in a flash of lights.
They are gone. 60. Seems like everyone's disappeared. My body is the only one that's left. I guess I was the original. But what's the point? Even if I'm the original, my life is no different than those replicas. Even if I live, I'll probably have my memories wiped. At best, they'll swap out my body for a new one and dust me off. Then everything will start all over again. I'll be trapped once again in that endless cycle. The one I haven't been able to escape since I was born. Born to kill raptors, a nauseating, vicious cycle all over again. Nothing will change.
Man, the look in Anis's eyes says it all.
Now that all of those copycats have disappeared, I realize something. All living things have a beginning and an end in this world. But the same doesn't apply to us. For us, there is no end. We die and are resurrected, but back from the dead to once again fight the raptors again and again. A never-ending cycle. Whether they are being similar to me is of no importance. It's about finding that end which was lost. That is the path to becoming a unique and distinct me.
60 takes out a small pistol and places it under her... I was just about to say, is she about to shoot herself now? And here she goes.
60. At long last, I will become my own person. No!
Alter Automata. End. Jesus Christ! Man, you have her kill B6 and then have her kill herself. Really? What the hell, man? Well, now I can finally do this. Wait. We're fighting the upgraded blacksmith here in the finale? Not Gatekeeper? Okay. I mean, it's not like blacksmith can do anything. Like, look at that. Even on hard mode, he got absolutely destroyed. I mean, hell, even my team can defeat difficulty 7 of this variant of blacksmith very quickly. Well, more so that it just takes my main team to do it. Another job well done. All traces of the D-Wave have completely disappeared. I see. We were able to probe the memories of the mass-produced Nikke you were with. I believe this subricate you all gave her was 6D. In doing that, we learned the reason behind the sudden reappearance of the D-Wave. Does it also explain why the factory materialized out of nowhere? Yes. A few months ago, we sent a Nikke squad out to the factory, up on the surface. Their mission was to retrieve any and all viable resources that could be used for the war effort. Included in the ranks of this squad was a mass-produced Nikke that you all now know as 6D. Due to the fact we had not detected any Rapture presence in the area, the squad deployed was assembled entirely of mass-produced Nikkes. However, once they breached the factory, they walked straight into a Rapture ambush. They fought hard, and succeeded in defeating all but one of the Raptures. 6D was the lone survivor, the rest of her squad mates were wiped out. The sole remaining Rapture and 6D were locked in their final battle. Determined to survive, she fought with everything she had. She used her last bullet to destroy the Rapture's core. And as soon as the core was destroyed, the D-Wave emitted by the Gatekeeper surged forth towards 6D and the fallen Rapture.
What was that?
She looked all around her, but couldn't detect anything unusual in her surroundings. She set aside her feelings of anxiety and pulled her broken and battered body up off the ground. Just as she intended to return to the Ark, the two transporters came down.
What is this?
A burst of light enveloped the two transporters and two individuals came flying out as they tumbled to the ground.
Are they humans or Nikkeis?
Her memories of this particular moment were damaged, so it remains somewhat unclear. But we are fairly certain these two, one female and one male, are the androids you met, 2B and 9S. The previously blinding light emanating from transporters subsided. But then nothing happened. 6D looked around with no small amount of apprehension. From far off, there was the sound of something falling. But nothing further happened. Scared her out of her mind, 6D attempted to get out of the factory. At that moment, numerous mysterious doors appeared before her, all of them enveloped in light. The doors on the right started shining and raptors began spilling out of them.
That can't be. How can there be so many?
6D thought that she was done for. That was, however, until the doors on the left started to shine as well. And a barrage of Product 12 model mass-produced Nikkeis spilled out.
Nikkeis?
Raptors and mass-produced Nikkeis that emerged from the doors started shooting at each other with no one paying her any heed. As the two sides filled the factory, they kept repeating the same internecine cycle again and again. Generate from the doors, fight and die. Rinse and repeat. Before B6's eyes opened. Before B6's eyes, all that she saw was an endless cycle of death and destruction. Raptors born to kill Nikkeis. Then mass-produced Nikkeis who looked exactly like her. Born to kill raptors. This macabre display went on for a week.
I can't take it anymore.
Our speculation that at that moment she experienced a mind switch. I see. So by the time we met her, the mind switch had already taken place. Most likely, yes. Why do you think the Gatekeeper replicated 6D into Rapture? I'm not sure. We don't have any access to the Gatekeeper's memory. This is pure speculation. But I believe it may have purely been because it was intrigued. Intrigued by the sight of 6D desperately fighting the Rapture. Perhaps the Gatekeeper manufactured Raptures and mass-produced Nikkeis in order to recreate that scene. And in order to help make that happen, it attempted to copy the technology harnessed by those androids from another world. It called upon them using their own transporters, thereby bringing 2B and 9S to our world. It then proceeded to use that transporter to create the mysterious doors that we saw producing both the Raptors and the Nikkeis. I see. That's all. Do you have any questions? Upon being asked if I have any questions, I think back on the recent events at the factory. After the death of 6D, C12 was inconsolable. She sat in front of 6D's lifeless body and stared up into the air.
What am I going to do now? B6, 6D, they're all dead. Do I even deserve to be alive? C12. I either want a memory wipe, or I want to die. Cell. What should I...
You're giving me the choice to either have your memory wiped or you die.
You're a human, the only one amongst us here. Since humans are the ones who made Nikkeis, I'm asking you. Please decide what I should do with my life.
You.
What? What are you saying? How could you ask the commander such a thing? Please, I'm begging you. Help me.
Don't you dare give me the option to have her kill herself. Oh my god, I have 3 of them. Death is not the answer. You'll be able to overcome it while you're still alive. If these are memories that you cannot bear, then erasing them might be the best answer. Death is not the answer. You'll be able to overcome it while you're still alive.
Well, I'm still alive. So you want me to live the rest of my life in misery, is that it?
Any choice I would have made would have been bad.
How can you say that?
It's okay, Anis.
The hell it is. One day, yes, everything might get better. One day. 60 B6. Alright, I will try. I'll try to go on. Maybe I will get better one day. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping me come to a decision.
Are you okay? What happened to C12? Oh, her. Well, she was disposed of. Are you kidding me? It didn't matter what we chose. They would have disposed of her ass. No. After coming back from her mission, not only did she insist on others referring to her as C12, she also filed numerous requests to verify if she had a human brain. She was showing the initial warning signs of becoming an irregular. And? That's not bad. I literally could have then had an irregular, you know, mass-produced Nikkei. Come on. Given 60's diagnosis of having undergone a mind switch, it didn't take much of a leap for the central government to decide that C12 was experiencing the same malfunction. They therefore decided to dispose of her, or so I heard.
Understood.
I keep feeling like I'm the bearer of bad news. You literally are! Have you ever really told me any good news besides, hey, go have a vacation? Oh look, our vacation just so happens to have, you know, a deadly rapture in the sea. And a ghost that's literally chasing us. Like, come on, send us somewhere nice next time. This, you know, doesn't have raptures. The threat of a ghost girl trying to call you out to sea to kill you, to drown you or something. I still don't know what she was planning on doing. But is there anything else that you want to ask? No, there isn't anything else. Very well, then that is all. Congratulations on another job well done. The truth hurts, and I have had my fill of it today. Forcing my aching limb to lurch me forward, I head towards the outpost. Rubbing my tired eyes, I'm about to enter the commander's room.
Rappy.
When I hear voices from inside.
When I saw that hollowed out head in the factory, I started wondering if there really was a brain in my head. I wanted to get a brain scan to make sure I still have the same brain from when I was a human. To make sure that I'm really Anis. Anis. I know, I'm still me. I love soda. I'm a lazy bones. Even if the brain I have now isn't the same as it was when I was human. I'm still me, I'm Anis. It's as simple as that. Right.
Realizing now isn't a good time to enter the commander's room, I sit on the floor. What truly defines me as myself? What makes me me? My brain? My body? The finite nature of my existence?
Then do you have a human brain like we do?
No. We don't have that. We don't have human brains, we have consciousness data instead.
And don't have human brains, but you seem so human.
Even without a human brain.
I don't want anyone else to influence my thought process. which might result in me making a hasty decision. We all need to determine the path to our own life. You've been fighting non-stop, aren't you tired? So far, so good. Well, don't push yourself too hard. You too. We must care for one another. Farewell, everyone. I hope you all achieve what you're after. We are beings who share our feelings with strangers from other worlds. Even if everything is predetermined, that to me doesn't negate the value of your individual feelings. Your sadness belongs to you and you alone. It's as she said. Leading an existence in which you are true to yourself is what's most important. Whether or not you have a human brain, or what your body is made of, whether your life will come to a natural end, whether you have the capacity for rational thoughts or to feel emotions, the answers to all these questions may well lie with those two androids who are part of our mission. As I sit down in the empty hallway, I think about those who have left us. Man, oh man. Isn't it just like, you know, Nier and Nikke to be depressing? Well, that's the end of the event. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, where I'm not pulling for A2 anymore. I've already changed my mind again, as I said in the beginning. Marciana is my next new goal in life. And if I get her, I get her. If I don't, I'm sadly gonna have to wait for her to come to, you know, the regular standard banner, put her onto my wish list, and hope by all that's holy I actually get her, and then I'll instantly get her bond up and do her story. Because she intrigues me very, very much. Especially whatever the heck this face is that she's making in her burst. Because again, I'm pretty sure this is burst. And if this is what I think it is and hope it is for her burst, I would want to get her MLB 3 just to have this as a lobby screen. Either way, Marciana, I definitely want her. And that is what we'll be doing next. If I get her, I get her. If I don't, I don't. I don't care if she's good. I just want her for the lobby screen. So either way, till then, I will see you guys later.